What is the new California SB9 law, and how does it affect you as a homebuyer, homeowner, or house hacker? Let's get into it. California SB9 is a new state law signed by Governor Newsom on September 16, 2021, and it goes into effect on January 1st, 2022. So what does SB9 do? Well, the headline you'll read is that SB9 allows for fourplexes to be built on any single-family lot in California, in effect ending single-family zoning as we know it. But the reality is that SB9 also imposes serious restrictions as to what and who is eligible for this kind of development. The bottom line is that single-family neighborhoods won't radically change, but savvy homebuyers, homeowners, and house hackers have an incredible new tool at their disposal. So let's talk about exactly what SB9 does, exactly what these restrictions are, and then exactly how these restrictions make SB9 a dud for developers and a huge boon for those who understand how the law works. SB9 has two provisions. The first allows for the subdivision of any single-family parcel into two parcels. And the second provision allows for a second home to be built on any single-family parcel. So from one house on one parcel, you can end up with 4 houses or units across 2 parcels. On its face, that's a huge change in zoning law for the nation's most populous state. But the restrictions written into SB9 are going to massively curtail its use. Let's take a look at why. Firstly, there are a lot of where and what restrictions. SB9 applies only to U.S. Census-designated urban areas, meaning California's cities and near suburbs. SB9 does not apply to fire hazard zones, which cover a fair amount of the state, or historic districts. Interestingly, SB9 does apply to coastal zones, so you beach city dwellers are in luck. SB9 requires that parcels be a minimum of 1,200 square feet. SB9 allows local agencies to require 1 parking spot per unit if the parcels aren't near mass transit. Only one wall of an existing single-family home can be demolished if the site is being redeveloped, and a myriad of restrictions exist around low-income housing, rent-controlled housing, and parcels with existing or even recently vacated tenants. But here's the restriction that makes SB9 a non-starter for developers and an incredible opportunity for clever owners. Before subdividing a parcel or building a second unit, the owner of the property must sign an affidavit stating, quote, that they intend to occupy one of the housing units as their principal residence for a minimum of 3 years. SB9 makes it a point that the applicable crime for violating this affidavit is perjury. So look, homeowners who are worried about their neighborhood being overtaken by high-density fourplexes need worry no more. Simply put, very few developers will endeavor to skirt the rules here. Some will, of course, but not enough to make an impact on any specific neighborhood. So this just opens the door for regular Joes like me and my clients to make some very interesting moves in the Los Angeles real estate market. A strategic single-family purchase can eventually become a cash-flowing duplex, a subdivision and home build and sale, or a really nicely cash-flowing fourplex. There's a ton of optionality in SB9, and it's only available to homeowners who will be living at the property for the next 3 years. SB9 is a golden arrow in the quiver of those who know how to use it. And that's the real question right now. How is SB9 going to play out? SB9 is a state law that imposes requirements on local jurisdictions, i.e. cities and counties. Open for question right now is how cities and counties are going to logistically enact the requirements of SB9 and what ordinances they might introduce to subvert SB9. At House Hack Los Angeles, we expect the SB9 landscape to be pretty fluid for at least the next year. If you're interested in taking advantage of SB9 in conjunction with an upcoming purchase or home you already own, claim your free strategy session with us at www.househack.la. And subscribe here for more SB9 news and tips as this exciting story unfolds.